So.
Oh yeah,
yes,
let's
talk about Becky now.
Lewis, let's let him go first.
Yeah.
Let him go first.
You know what? I'm gonna grab a drink.
Apparently hates Becky Lynch.
Oh wait,
I'm just gonna say this. Becky Lynch is a Grand Slam champion. She won the NXT championship, beating Tiffany Stratton last week. We didn't get to this, of course, but she, just like Rey Mysterio, just like The Rock, just like all these other people, she does not need the title. She does not need it. She does not need it.
But she does. And do you know why, Dan? Because she has no other feuds right now. She just had a great finish to a very bad storyline. You're not just gonna trade her like. Okay, we've been like you've been talking. Well, we've been talking forever that there's literally been nobody to go against Rhea. You know, yes, maybe you should just put her into that, but you know, you already got the Raquel and now you got Nia back. I feel like throwing her into that is too messy. Obviously, Becky is still a big name. I know you're not the biggest Becky fan, but she's still a big enough name that they're just not going to let her not do anything. What are they going to throw into her? Like the women's tag team championship? Like that's
let her take a break.
Maybe she doesn't want a break. She literally just did that lemons to lemonade segment.
What have we been saying since on this show? When we saw people like Apollo Crews go down, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, people that went down, Baron Corbin currently, people that went down there to reinvent themselves and get more TV time and get another rep down in NXT. Becky Lynch was already in NXT.
But she never won the title.
Lynch is – she doesn't need it. She doesn't need it.
Neither did Charlotte. Neither did Charlotte. Neither did Charlotte.
I can
I don't think that should have happened either.
All right. Daniel is right. Becky Lynch doesn't need the NXT Women's title, but her winning the title is kind of a means to an end, because whoever does eventually beat her for the title is going to be a made woman.
And you
even go up to the main roster or be the top woman on NXT. It doesn't matter. Because if you look at NXT's women roster, right? As far as babyface and heels go, there's a lot more heels than there are good baby faces. Like I think the best babyface that they have is Roxanne. Well, now Becky. I think their best heel is Tiffany Stratton, and then you look at their roster as far as like actually quality contenders. When Tiffany Stratton was a heel on the babyface side, there weren't that many. I think it was just Becky Lynch. There was Lyra Valkyrie, and then I think after that there really wasn't much. I mean, they had the story with Chase. They had the story with Thea Hale, which was a good story. Kind of brought more of her character out, and now you see her with JC Jane. Now she's turned heel, so now she's on the heel side. So you have all that going on, but. To Daniel's point about NXT as a whole, I think one thing that people really aren't talking about. I mean, you see how NXT lately, Judgment Day came on. Dom is NXT North American champion. You got Baron Corbin there, Mustafa Ali there. Daniel named a bunch of guys. I think the one thing people aren't talking about is the television deal that WWE has with NBC Universal. They signed a 5-year deal back in 2018, and next year that deal is going to be up. So they're going to be renegotiating. And lately, you've seen what they've been doing with NXT, putting some of these top stars on the main roster on to try to raise the ratings up a little bit. Mm-hmm. That way, when they go to renegotiate, they can say, "Okay, look at NXT's ratings now. They've been going up. So you know what that means? You gotta pay me a higher media rights fee for you to have NXT now." So I think that's another aspect of it, of having Becky Lynch down there, get the ratings up so NBC Universal has to pay more money.
I think that's a weak move, because it's like, how long is she gonna be there?
But she dropped it before the Rumble.
But what Brian said does hold merit, because look what they're already promoting. Dragon Lee and Dominic is not happening on NXT; it's happening on Raw. And if he wins that, you have people on Raw seeing an NXT star. So that's to bring more people to actually watch NXT.
I get that.
I know. But I think this is to what Brian's saying is like, I feel like NXT has not fully recovered from the whole 2.0 thing. We all know how hot. I mean, I've barely gotten back into it. I'm trying to watch it more, but the women's division is not intriguing me. The tag team division is not really intriguing me. The only thing literally intriguing me is just the championship. It's the Mellow Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Wesley, like literally those four, those are the only things that are intriguing me about NXT. Like I feel like it's a very young roster. They're trying to create stars, but it's not popping like that. So I think that's why they're bringing all these, the Baron Corbins, the Mustafa Ali's. Now you got Becky, who's obviously a huge draw. And like they're promoting on Raw. Oh, NXT had over 100,000 views or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think it probably is more of a just get views on NXT right now. It probably has less to do with Becky needs the title. It's more so, like Brian said, we got to build new stars. Whoever beats Becky is probably going to become a huge star, get more people invested in the product, get more people interested in these characters to bring into the main roster at some point. Because nobody's really looking like they're moving up to the main roster right now, besides the men's.
Yeah. But it's just like, in terms of that, like, to me, that just kills the developmental part, because it's like, yeah, you want somebody to beat Becky Lynch, but one, it has to be the right person. It can't just be anybody. and clearly, by you bringing her down there, you don't have the person right now. They don't have the person right now. So I'm like, who's gonna? You haven't been able to really build anybody up over the past year and a half or so.
Yeah,
but this also has to do with,
it's like they're stuck in like a rock, and it's like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. Because like you said, NXT is supposed to be developmental. You're supposed to be preparing the future, and you can't prepare the future unless you put the future out there and allow them to develop. But at the same time, you're trying to make money with ratings and such. So you kind of need to bring some of these main roster guys up to kind of try to help with that. So they're trying to do two things at once, and sometimes when you do that, one thing may hold more value than
overshadows another one.
Yeah, overshadows another one. So
fair enough, I guess. But it's just like, again, as we said, she just beat Natalya on Raw. How wouldn't that have been a better? I'm just thinking storyline wise. Natalya went down to NXT and wreaked havoc down there with her sharpshooter and put a mean streak into her. Kind of like what they did with Tyson Kidd way back in NXT, like what they tried to do. Who would benefited from that?
They tried to do that. They tried to do that exact thing with Natty. They tried to bring her down and do the same thing when Cora Jade was a babyface. And that didn't really work out. They tried to have Natty come down, and first she teamed up with Cora, then she turned on Cora, then she beat Cora in the match.
Stop putting her in tag teams.
Exactly.
Well, didn't they do something like that with Dana Brooke recently? Dana Brooke and
they're still doing it with Dana Brooke right now.
Still doing it with Dana Brooke.
that's still the thing.
They're trying to get that to work.
But I think it's all. Sorry, go Dan.
Yeah, but just what you guys are saying, especially bringing up the TV rights deal and stuff like that, I'm like, is NXT that real of a sore spot? Like, they can't just, like, you know what I mean? Like, they can't just market Raw and SmackDown to these companies and be like, hey, take NXT too. Like, I just don't think that's going to be a deal breaker for a company trying to get WWE on their television.
Just for the record, NBC Universal is gonna pay whatever to keep NXT and Raw, because they kind of need it.
Yeah,
I don't know if watch the USA Network on like any other day besides Monday. But if you're actually watching like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire in the commercial break, they promote Raw and SmackDown, Raw and NXT heavy with the promotion.
Yeah, they do.
And the US Open is over. Like,
yeah, and I also read in another article that the WWE is literally saving Peacock right now. So if they lose WWE, like, Peacock's value is just going to like drop significantly. So
yeah, but it's just crazy to think. Like I said, I don't think NXT has recovered at all from 2.0. And if you think about it, when we were in the giant peak of NXT greatness, it was because they brought in all these indie players, and now they're not doing that. Now they're literally trying to create stars, and there's only a few that are really, really popping right now. I mean, like,
well, maybe there's a way. Maybe that's a way. Maybe Jade Cargill's a potential way to do that. Like, hey, maybe she's not an indie person. She's not a main eventer yet, but we can bring in this person, craft her the way we want to, and now she's our star. You know, maybe that's what they're gonna start plugging away from all these little other promotions. Hey, ROH, hey, who's down there? Who's here? Can we plug this guy?
I mean, ROH is AEW now.
But they have to. They want to build their own stars, but it's like you kind of gotta grow this talent, and you guys really haven't been able to. Braun Breaker is a blue chipper off the old block. It's in his family. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, he's another one that's he's showing out, and I don't know. I can't speak on the women but I've only really seen Tiffany Stratton, Gigi, Roxanne Perez. There's another chick with black hair who's, I guess, kind of strong or whatever, but it's like nobody is showing like, hey, I'm ready for the main roster. Like Tiffany Stratton, for me, her character doesn't do it for me. She probably has the ring skills.
I mean, if there's one woman they need to push, it's Lola Vice. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah, I see her. Yeah.
She was an MMA fighter before. I mean, if you go on her Instagram page, her first pin post is her knocking a female out and then doing a salsa dance after. So, that's because she had a match with Roxanne last night on NXT, and the crowd was actually behind her more than Roxanne because they see it, and also I guess because she's from Florida, from Miami. So
yeah.
So there's a rule too, but. She's definitely somebody that they should.
I saw the interaction they had. But I didn't see the match.
Yeah.
So I saw them like go at each other a little bit.
Yeah. So, if she's gonna be in that NXT Women's Breakout Tournament that they announced,
she gotta do it.
She has to win it. like it's mandatory. Unless Jade is in that tournament, then Lola Vice has to win.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
First of all, if AEW didn't have a no compete clause for Jade, they're dumb.
I mean, her contract could have just expired.
Nah, they gotta have something like 90 days or something like that. They can't just let that happen.
No, I think that only happens if they terminate you. I think if your contract expires, I think you're good. I don't think there's no compete after that.
I don't think.
I believe if they terminate your contract, that's where the non-compete is. But if it's just because I think that's what AEW has been doing is they're not letting people go. They're just letting their contract.
I'm just thinking from back in the day when Lex Luger turned up on Raw, and then the next night he was on Monday Night Nitro.
Yeah.
So I just find it hard to believe Tony Khan would just be like, yeah, you can just you're free to go, and then just show up on Raw in 2 weeks. Like
that. Well, how long was it? I mean, was it a long time when Cody left? Or was it like a month?
Cody was gone for a while.
Was he?
He was gone. He went to the Indies, but he was gone for a little bit.
When he left AEW to come to WWE. He didn't go to the Indies.
It wasn't winter was coming.
I think it was coming. Yeah. I think it was a couple of months before. Because what did he leave in like what was it like the December, like late December or early January? I don't remember.
Yeah. So that had to have been 90 days.
We didn't see him until April, late March.
Yeah. That had to have been 90 days. Because he had the ladder match with Sammy, the TNT match, right? Wasn't that his last match?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah. So that had to have been like winter is coming or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it had to have been. But it's like I just find it hard to believe that 90 days you wouldn't do that. To save yourself anything, I would try to have that in there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he come back after that WrestleMania?
No, he fought Seth Rollins.
No, he fought Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was the mystery opponent. He was the mystery opponent.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. So it's probably like 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, so like I mean, if AEW wants to save themselves any embarrassment, I hope they have that 90 days.
But actually, remember, he even said it. He didn't have a contract when all that happened. He was working there without signing an actual contract.
Okay. They gotta have something, man. I find it hard to believe they don't got. If they don't, then damn, that's a bad hit.
Damn is right.
Jade shows up in NXT or on Raw or on SmackDown, wherever she shows up, and then just out there, like what?
Well, I mean, Jade's already been off TV. What, 2 weeks? No,
2 weeks, 14 days.
Wait, that rampage was last Friday, so yeah,
roughly 10 days.
Yeah. Let's see.
AEW can afford that. I'm just saying they just can't afford that.
Yeah.
But Becky Lynch overall, I don't think she needs the title. But you guys brought up great points of them trying to drive the ratings boost, and I'm like, it kind of I just don't like stumping the roster, and I think that potentially does that for them. And it's like they're trying to build these women up and new characters and stuff like that, and it's just like if you're gonna beat Becky Lynch, you're gonna have to have the right person to do it. Maybe it's Tiffany Stratton, maybe because they're going to have an Extreme Rules at No Mercy. So maybe it is Tiffany Stratton. Maybe they should get somebody to help her beat up Becky Lynch or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Which, by the way, since you mentioned that, the whole setup for that on the way NXT ended, that setup was so poorly done. Tiffany Stratton. I don't think Tiffany Stratton has ever swung a chair in her life because the way she swung, I don't think she's ever swung a chair before.
It's so heavy.
Yeah, I know, right? That's exactly how she was acting. Like the chair was so heavy because the way she was swinging, it was
like you're an athlete. How are you not able to swing this thing?
That's like my son trying to pick up a chair.
Nah, she did struggle. I don't know if it was. I didn't know if the setup wasn't right with her and Becky, but it did look like she didn't know what she was doing.
Or she was like, "It was arm day today." Sorry.
Just half-ass it, like. But now, we'll see what happens with the NXT Championship. I got to check out more of that. I know Ilya Dragunov who did he freaking elbowed Dom? I saw that.
Yeah,
and see, that's why I like Ilya. That man is fucking physical. His matches looks like
crazy to me.
He looks like he's gonna pop a blood vessel one of these days. It's just like, I'm like,
he's so intense.
Yo,
if you watch the build to the match with Gunther, where he actually beat Gunther, that whole story program, oh my god,
dude, his body from the chops he took and when he beat him was ridiculous. This man was bludgeoned. I was like, Jesus, where are the Bludgeon Brothers? Like, god damn.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But NXT, hopefully they continue to keep building up, and we'll see what happens with Becky Lynch in NXT. I'll definitely be trying to check out No Mercy, which I think one of these weeks. I can't remember when it is, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's get into the Raw side of